Ato Forson, a minister appointed by John Dramani Mahama, which is in vetting as at the time that I am shooting this video, says that in 120 days he is going to cancel the E-Levy and the betting tax, and they will bring back the tolls. So the toll booths, they'll start taking tolls again. Don't go anywhere, stick and stay. I have the full details for you. I'll be right back. So after Mahama was sworn into office, he appointed 3 ministers, which are in persons of one, Honorable Dr. Ato Forson as the Minister of Finance, Honorable John Abdullahi Janipo as Minister of Energy, and Honorable Dominic Akuritinga Ayin as Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Now, so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has appointed these 3 ministers, and they have to go through the vetting process. Do you understand? Now, before I even talk about these 3 people and then the vetting, when you go on, like, people are like, hey, John Dramani Mahama says that when he comes to power, he'll cancel the E-Levy, he has no cancel this and that, this and that. And hey, betting tax, when we are J money, still they are taking the betting tax and all that. Now, in as much as Mahama said he's going to scrape off those things, he is not the one going to do it. It's the finance minister who is going to what? Take that action. And before we get, in as much as John Dramani Mahama has appointed a finance minister, the finance minister has to go through vetting, which is called a ministerial vetting, and he has to pass. The vetting committee has to approve him, or have to approve him. If they don't approve him, then the Excellency will have to bring another person to come and go through the vetting process. That's okay, they don't like this person. So that is what they are doing. And in the vetting process, this Honorable Ato Forson has also stated that in the 120 days, he is going to remove the E-Levy. Yes, it is part, and it is something that they said, and John Dramani Mahama said in his manifesto, that he's going to remove the E-Levy.
Number 1, will you abolish the E-Levy?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, my position on the E-Levy is well known. I do not intend to run from it. I've written articles against the E-Levy. I championed opposition against E-Levy. I still stand by them. Mr. Chairman, the E-Levy is neither a direct tax, indirect tax, or an excise tax. I don't know how to classify the E-Levy as a tax practitioner. Mr. Chairman, it doesn't mean that I do not recognize that the E-Levy brings in certain revenue. But the fact remains that the E-Levy retards our progress towards a cash-light economy and the fintech. We need to abolish the E-Levy. I have said, and I'm on record to have said, that given the opportunity to abolish the E-Levy, I want to restate that position, that if approved as part of the first budget, I'll be privileged and I will announce that we will abolish the E-Levy as part of our first budget, recognizing my earlier stance and the commitment that His Excellency the President Mahama said that as part of our 120 days agenda, we will abolish the E-Levy. We stand by that, and I can assure you the E-Levy will go within the 120 days calendar that we've announced. Thank you.
So, right now, no, he has been appointed. He's not yet a minister, and he's going through the vetting process as at the time I'm shooting this video. So the vetting committee have approved him and said that, okay, he's good to go. Let's go ahead. Then he comes to power and then takes over what he has to do. He also said you abolish the betting tax, but the road tolls will come back. Take a look at what he said during the vetting process. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, turn on the post notifications so that when we post the video, you will get a notification. I'm out. Peace.
Remove E-Levy. Would you consider to bring back road toll collections? And what is your take on property rate collections as well? Because they attempted to centralize it and they reversed it with the previous government attempted centralization of property rate collections, and they reversed it with the explanation that there were some challenges. What is your take on road toll and property rate?
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Mr. Chairman, the previous government indeed removed the road toll. But getting to the end, they signaled that road toll is coming back. Mr. Chairman, they submitted to Parliament, it was not late, a concession agreement with the company to reintroduce the road tolls. I have a copy. Mr. Chairman, the NDC indicated from day one that the road toll will come back. We are not running away from it. In fact, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, at the time, the minority leader, said that the NDC promises to bring back the road toll. The Hansard will bear us out. We have not run away from that fact. So I can assure you, we are a party that sticks to our promises. And whatever we have promised to do, we'll do just that. If the road toll is a way to raise revenue, we'll raise the revenue. And the road toll, if you use the road, you have to pay a toll. And it's all over the world. Ghana won't be the first country, won't be the last one. You have to contribute towards the road maintenance. And so the only thing is we have to collect the revenue effectively and efficiently so that we can plow it towards the maintenance of those roads. Thank you.
Do you still stand by this position of banning gambling and banning betting and all that in its entirety, or now your position has changed? That's what I wanted to ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I think it's a very good question, and it's an opportunity for me to clarify. Mr. Chairman, I was on a show with the Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah, and the contest must come out. The Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah, at the time Minister for Information, I'm sure, had the responsibility to sell a government policy on betting. And he said, I'm surprised we're not bringing that portion. He said that betting tax is being implemented because it is destroying our youth, and that the government is introducing this betting tax the government is introducing this betting tax to deter them, equivalent to a sin tax, so that they will not be staking the bet. I retorted on a show being hosted by Evans Mensah on Joy FM PM Express. I retorted by saying that will not solve the problem. That will not solve the problem because I've read a number of articles, and the article presupposes or suggests that it is destroying our youth. And so if you want to introduce a tax, you have to first look at the elasticities, and as to whether the elasticities will mean that imposing such a tax will prevent the individual or the people concerned from the staking of the VAT, of the betting or not. But I doubt that will. And so if you intend doing that, the best option is to ban it and not to introduce a tax. And I said the tax will not solve the problem. Here we are today, I've been vindicated. Has the tax solved the problem as intended by the government? Big no. I insist that that tax must be abolished. And as Minister of Finance, my first budget, I will abolish the betting tax. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. We don't do that in Parliament. We say here, here. The next person is Honourable Mama Elda. Mama Elda.
I thought somebody was my friend. until I was given an opportunity to ask a question. And she started heckling me even before I've asked the question. Congratulations, my leader. My real question was to ask you how prepared you are to deal with the multitude of economic challenges confronting Ghana. But after listening to you within these few minutes, I thought it wise to abandon my question. Because even before asking, you have made a case demonstrating your readiness and preparedness to confront the problems of Ghana with greater expertise and finesse than we have seen in the past. So I have a few questions focusing on what my brother and former majority leader and now minority leader raised in his thesis that he read before we started. Oh, it's very beautiful. Thesis.
Honourable member, continue. Proceed.
Number one, will you abolish the E-Levy?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, my position on the E-Levy is well known. I do not intend to run from it. I've written articles against the E-Levy. I championed opposition against the E-Levy. I still stand by them. The Chairman, the E-Levy is neither a direct tax, indirect tax, or an excise tax. I don't know how to classify the E-Levy as a tax practitioner. Mr. Chairman, it doesn't mean that I do not recognize that the E-Levy brings in certain revenue. But the fact remains that the E-Levy retards our progress towards a cash-light economy and the fintech. We need to abolish the E-Levy. I have said, and I'm on record to have said, that given the opportunity to abolish the E-Levy, I want to restate that position, that if approved as part of the first budget, I'll be privileged and I will announce that we will abolish the E-Levy as part of our first budget, recognizing my earlier stance and the commitment that His Excellency the President Mahama said that as part of our 120 days agenda, we will abolish the E-Levy. We stand by that, and I can assure you the E-Levy will go within the 120 days calendar that we've announced. Thank you.